So on here a lot, you hear about transactional dating. A man has to do, even down to if you want to talk to me, you got to pay for my groceries at the grocery, or you got to pay for my gas, pump my gas. Isn't this like realistically prostitution with extra steps? That's how it sounds like to a lot of us. Let me know what you guys think. Let's get into this video.
I look at men as transactional only. That's it. Sorry, not sorry. You either had to be feeding my pockets or you had to be feeding my mind, because feeding my mind is also transactional. Let's be crystal clear. You bitches be laying down with these men that's not giving you nothing. They're not giving you nothing but BV, a yeast infection, and a trip to the motherfucking clinic, and a trip to the abortion clinic. That's it.
I'm gonna say this a lot. You attract your level. That's that's how it always is, right? It's not so much that it's something that you're putting out there, right? There is that level that there is that component of it, but it's who you're around, right? You don't. The reason we don't really interact with billionaires because we're not in that circle. We don't travel to the same places, or even if we're in the same places, there are different levels to these things. So wherever you are, there you find yourself. So if you're attracting these guys that for whatever reason can't even entertain or can't even add to you mentally, there's a reason for that. There's a real reason for that.
You dealing with niggas that can't even help your kids with homework. You dealing with niggas that can't even give you $50 for your phone bill. Make this.
The fact that you need these things, the fact that you genuinely need these things should be a pretty good indicator of where you are and why this is the type of people around you. You need $50 for your phone bill. And I know we're all in different times. We're in different economic, stratas. We're all, life is life right now. But when's the last time you really struggled to pay your phone bill and worried about dating and worried about this or that? The amount of times people, women aren't here telling men about broke dating. If you can't afford this, then don't. Why not the same for you? If you're broke, if you need so much assistance from the next man you meet, from the next man to talk to you, if he has to do things, he has to pay for your life, why are you dating? I think that's a very fair question to ask. Why are you dating?
It doesn't make any sense. Why the fuck are you bending it over with your head all the way down to the tile floor for nothing? Why?
I'm gonna say why. I'm gonna say why. Because that's your value. That's what you have to offer, commiserate to whatever money or thing you need from that person. That's how you've been trained to think of what makes you special. That's what the exchange is.
Why? Why? Why are we doing this? Right? Yes, everything is not financial. However, not only are you dealing with a broke nigga, but you're dealing with a dumb broke nigga. That's wild. That's wild. Because being broke is one thing. Okay? Everybody and mama have been broke before. Most people you can be broke, but then the next day, you're good.
Not really. That's not really how being broke works. If you broke one day and it's not the next. It's not just a financial thing. It's a state of mind. It's a state of being. If you're struggling today, if you're struggling and you need $1,000 to get you to that next level, and I give you that, that has not solved your large the larger issues in your life. You can have money and still be broke. You can have no money and not be broke. Right? But again, if you constantly need this from men, we're just gonna look at it as prostitution. Right? The nasty P word, right? And it's becoming increasingly available in every other facet of life. It's becoming increasingly accepted. When I was growing up, you couldn't say that and the men not think about, oh, you pay for it? You pay for it? Yo, you disgusting. Here's the laundry list of things that are wrong with you. Now it seems like an economic choice. It seems like, hey, you don't want the headache? It's available. The price makes sense for you? Yeah, go for it. Go for it. I can see a lot of us getting in our upper as we get older and we have more and more disposable money. We say like, if this is the level of women available, we're just gonna be like, yeah, I'd rather just a couple times a week, a couple times a month, I'll just pay for it. I get that evil out, get that demonic energy out of me, and I go about my business. If we're gonna make it transactional like this, if it's every time I open up this app, there's a man has to do this. A man has to pay this. It doesn't matter. A lot of times, it doesn't matter the social status of the woman. There was a doctor on it. I think it's like maybe it's a psychiatrist, pharmacist, I believe. I can find that video. But she's like, yeah, I still want a man to pay everything. I make good money. I still want a man to pay everything. Let's just call it what it is. It's prostitution with extra steps.
However, you dealing with a nigga that's on a 3rd grade reading level. Y'all can barely have a decent conversation. He can barely articulate.
Listen, this is again, this is terrible. This is broke behavior all around. We're just gonna price each other out of relationships. If it costs me money to afford you, I'm going to now, and as I learn the value of my money, as I become more of an adult, and I learn just how much time went into creating this wealth, I'm going to say you're not worth the expenditure. That's where it's going to go down the line. Especially as you get older, you age out, and more women adopt this sort of line of thinking and this behavior. Okay, I'm gonna, like anything, you want to get your money's worth. This is exactly where we're headed. If you know what I mean, let me know down in the comments.